Greetings everyone! Today I'm gonna be reviewing the Neca Godzilla figure, or normally known as Biogoji. This design comes from the movie Godzilla vs. Biolante, a movie that I personally think it's really decent. Not overly good, but very entertaining. So NECA, a National Entertainment Collectible Association, created this figure, making a really incredible sculpt for most of the figure, having really incredible details on the body and even on the face, which we could say that's kind of a downgrade. You see, for many people, the face of this Godzilla is kind of different from the original. It's kind of more curious when you see it. When you see it from different angles, you can even tell that it's not from the exact movie. It's actually from a different movie, which for what I can tell, is actually the sculpt is more accurate to the Godzilla versus King Ghidorah from the Heisei era. Many people doesn't really like this sculpt at all for Biogoji, which looks more like a cat and I can say that I can kind of agree with them. I mean, it's not really a bad sculpt. I personally think it's amazing, but I know why people are kind of upset with this one, because for overall the figure, it's actually really despiteful how the face is not really accurate to the suit or to the Godzilla in general. However, I don't think it's actually that bad. I actually really prefer this sculpt. While it's not really accurate, it's really a decent job for the NECA boys. Now, when we talking about painting, it's actually for a figure that is actually not that expensive. It's actually really incredible. I remember those figures that Nick actually previously did that had really a bad paint application to the dorsal plates, which I can say is kind of sloppy. But on this one, it looks really incredible. Even on other Godzillas, it's actually pretty neat. I really like it. Even some aspects in the face really shines with the paint, which can be like a greenish, darkish tone from the whole body. Even some of the nails are really well painted. Well, if you kind of look under the Godzilla's claws, it looks like there's not much painting. I apologize if you don't really see it done much in my camera, but it can be really. It looks like it doesn't really the paint is not really durable, or maybe they didn't even want it to paint it at all. Even for some reason, the top on the left hand of this Godzilla has some paint chipped. And if we talk about paint, chipping, the only thing you have to see is under the toes. It looks like it didn't have has a different tone of paint for some reason. If you seriously look the difference, you can see they have a different tone. I mean, I'm not sure if the paint is actually not durable at all, and the actual spots were actually painted. I mean, if that's the case, then that's actually my fault, because I have this figure for almost a while now, maybe a month or something, and I'm not gonna be honest that I have been a little bit rough with it. So maybe that was the issue, or maybe the paint is actually so durable, but they actually forgot or actually didn't want to paint the whole thing. Because who's gonna display Godzilla leaping off his leg or something like that? Because even though you wanted to do that, this Godzilla specifically is gonna be impossible. This mainly due for this whole incredible tail, that I will say this is the main reason I wanted to buy it. That it's really impossible to have so dynamic poses where he maybe do where he maybe is doing some type of kick or a flip. Because of the weight of the tail, it's kind of impossible to do something like this. So it's actually really bad, if you can say that. However, overall, I think the sculpt and paint is actually not. Now, I just wanted to address something of overall, and it's about the price of this dude, because this was one of the last Godzillas that NECA was actually gonna do, which is actually sad. This Godzilla is actually really pricey. I actually had to buy it from almost $50 or something like that. When in original release it was actually $30. So if we talk about price and overall, I don't think it actually deserves to be like that type. Don't get me wrong, the figure is incredible. The figure has a really good sculpt, and we're gonna talk about the articulation, but the articulation is really cool too. However, knowing by NECA standards, having to buy one of these in like it was $50 or even more, it's actually too you get the idea. You get the idea. So I can't really recommend this dude if you really want it, because you're gonna be really have to scratch all over the internet to find it in a good price, because this is not SH Monster Arts or maybe a Figure Arts for that price. However, let's talk about Articulation and see if this dude is really up to that standards of priceness. All right, so for Articulation in the head, the mouth is unhinged. It can open and close, which actually I forgot to mention, but the teeth are incredible. I could say this is one of my favorite teeth. It doesn't really look good because I don't have a good light, but let me see. But it's actually not sloppy at all. It's kind of cool. All right, so for the head here, we have I think a ball joint. Yep, we have a ball joint, so we can pretty much spin Godzilla around like if it was Frankenstein or something like that. This part here of the neck is also put into a ball joint, which is for me is still kind of stuck even for a while that I'm having this, which is kind of actually cool to make Godzilla look a little bit up, because he can look kind of up. Then with this range we can actually look down and even overall side to side. Now for the torso, we can see that this has a ball joint. It's still kind of stuck on mine, but it kind of look good. It's kind of still, it's really getting loose now. For arms, we have not sure if it's a hinge. I'm not sure correctly, but it looks really porous. I'm not sure if it's a hinge, which we can rotate almost all 60 degrees. Or I can, no, forget it. All 60 degrees, right? For the rest of the arm, there's a hinge also here, which we can also rotate. The hands are into another hinge, which we can also rotate. Which we can also rotate. And the fingers are like a small hinge, so we can close it and open, close and open, which I think it's a cool feature. Not gonna lie. For the legs, we have a ball joint, which is not really functional for me for some reason. Doesn't have really, spread's not good, but it has really a good rotation thing. And here we have a hinge, which sadly for me it's kind of hard to still pull it up. Have to be kind of like put so much force on it. Even though I already put some heat on this part right here with a blow dryer, it's still kind of loose, it's still kind of tight. And finally, for the leg, we have the toes, the feet, which are in the ball joint too, which they can rotate. They can kind of have a pivot. They can kind of do a pivot. Well, depends on how you pose it. Now the tail, which it's amazing for me. It's not an SH Monster Arts, but it's dope. So right here we have a ball joint, which is still kind of hard for me. It's not a. Then we have a piece right here, which here we have also ball joint, and we have this segment here where you have to attach the tail, which for me the first time it was really a pain to do it. We have a ball joint there, have a ball joint here, have another ball joint, another one, and finally this whole piece, which is just one piece, that is another ball joint. So yeah, for being not a much ball joints like the SH Monster Arts, you can actually put this tail in a cool type of poses, even though it will look weird with the skull like being kind of fluffy, if you can say that. So overall, we can say that Articulation is it's good, it's incredible, and I will say that for the original price standard is actually incredible. However, with the price that I bought it, it's kind of lame that some of the some of the joints are actually kind of stuck. That some of the joints in the legs is still kind of hard to put some good and dynamic poses. So for accessories, he doesn't come with much, sadly. However, he does come with a really incredible box. And of course, if we open it, we all have a beautiful looking inside. We have which we can see that it has a window where we can normally see the figure. And besides of the box, he comes with a beam effect, which I can say has a really incredible sculpt that I haven't seen on a lot of Neca Godzillas. And even though this is my first Neca Godzilla, it's actually amazed me how good it is. Now Godzilla has a hole in the mouth, so that's why it has like a weird like looking down part of the mouth. So we just, the only thing we have to do is just put it down here, and there you go. Godzilla is now firing his incredible beam. However, despite the amazingness of this, the bad thing of this figure is that he cannot really look that up, and also the beam is kind of giving some weight to it. So the head, yeah, there you go. The head's probably gonna be loose in a couple times. And the bad thing about this is that because the head cannot go really that up, neither the beam, we cannot pretend like Godzilla is fighting or even shouting his beam at another monster without like looking like it's actually weird. The only thing we can do actually is making Godzilla actually firing his beam to maybe, I don't know, a car or even a city, so he can be looking down, or even a monster that is actually on the ground or something like that. Now for a fair size comparison, we can see that the box is actually big compared to the figure, which is between the 6 to 10, which is the figure is actually between the 6 inches. Here is at the side with my second NECA figure, the Neca Godzilla 1962, which is actually one of my second favorite Godzillas. If you really find it in a decent price, I can really recommend this incredible figure. But if you are those that is really extreme to hardcore collectors, then I'm not gonna stop you. And if you want to sell and buy it for $100, then that's on you. So I hope you find this video interesting. I apologize for this review, like, if you can call it that, was a really interesting mess to do. I'm not really a good speaker myself, but like I try myself to not be so boring and to have an interesting information for you guys. So I hope you like it, and I hope to see you next time.